don't know if you've studied wisdom. What's wisdom for you? Is it being smart? Is it being more intelligent? What is wisdom for you?
I think wisdom for me is knowing when to quit. And I say that because I'm a persistent person in a lot of things. And I think that's a good quality to have.
Yeah.
But to be wise, I think, requires knowing when to quit something, when to take your cards off the table. And I'm not fully sure I've gotten there yet where I know. But I think that when you're able to understand that, I think that's a mark of wisdom.
Yeah, so I always analyze that really well because I mean, let's say you're super intelligent, right? And you know how to make money, or you know how to make the next nuclear bomb, or you know how to go to Mars, or whatever your intelligence is, right? Like there's a brains, right? Or know how to how to live 100 years in this world, or
Brian
whatever it is,
Johnson,
huh? Yeah.
Brian Johnson, the man trying to live forever.
Is that the guy that sleeps like forever? Like he doesn't wakes up for nobody.
No, no, he's very active. Unfortunately, his pursuits are kind of coming to a close. He's got
It's
some health problems now. But
you
for the
see the
longest
one guy
time,
super white. It's like super white
yeah,
hair.
yeah.
Yeah, I
But
don't
he
care
looks
for that
healthy.
guy. I don't care for that guy.
I
Um,
think it's cool, man. I think he's ambitious.
no, you're trying to be God. You're trying to be perfect, and perfection. There's no perfection, and and whoever wants to find perfection is just gonna fail every single time. Doesn't matter how much money you have, how intelligent. Again, right? How intelligent you are, you're gonna fail. And to me, being wise, or having that wisdom, I personally, I think comes from above. I think it comes from you trying to do the best thing you can, and the only way to be uh good at that is by trying things. So you can read all the books you want, but whenever you have to make that wise decision, you may go by what you think it is, right? Like by what you studied, what the formula says.
What you
But
watched in the movie.
uh
What you watched in the movie.
yeah, or like whatever you read, whatever you think is the theory, whatever it is, right? Your knowledge. That doesn't, I'm not saying that not to use that, but being wise about it is like depending on the situation, you're gonna make the best decision you 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 can do. And of course, if you have that wisdom, you're gonna make the best decision, right? So I feel that we don't earn that by just reading or just knowing things or studying things. I think we really get that through through God, but also through experience life the way it is. You know, um, I can tell you many examples about it. Like me personally, how I've learned the difference of like, okay, that was a wise move, or that was just like, I was so naive about something. I thought it was this way. Um,
Yeah.
but I think it's just that's why older people have. I love talking to older people because of that. They've lived the world. They are wiser than other people. So I think it's good to hear from them. And it could be somebody like that is uneducated or is living in a, like, you can tell that probably he didn't live in a city or somewhere. You learn from everybody that is older than you, and
Yeah.
I think you're that guy. You love learning from people.
Yeah, I mean,
um
I truly do believe that everyone's a teacher so long
yeah,
as you're willing to learn. Even if it's somebody that you don't like or somebody that
or
rubs you off the wrong way, there's always some sort of lesson that you can take from them.
oh yeah, and more with people that have been longer in this world. I'm gonna tell you that.
More with what?
um with people that have been longer in this world.
Yes. Yeah.
um so
But actually, you know what's interesting, by the way? I like how you brought that up, Ivan.
yeah.
Um, last year, I went to Paris, and it was me, my sister, my brother, and my cousin. And my cousin, he ended up getting this bike, and my brother, him, and then my sister, they're taking turns to ride it. By the time it was my sister's turn, she got on this slope that was going downhill. So, like, the second she got on, that bike rolled down
So,
and she crashed against this glass door of this Chinese shop, this like fruit shop or whatever.
she okay?
And like, no, she was hurt. She was hurt really bad actually. She got a scar, or not a scar, but like she got bruised. And
Um,
the interesting thing was the owners were not at all sympathetic. It was like a dude
yeah,
and a lady. Maybe they could have been married. I don't know.
yeah,
But they were so pissed and they were like angry. Like they weren't even trying to assess the situation. And I dealt with them like an adult. Like the adult in me came out.
yeah,
And what was interesting to me in that encounter though was how disrespectful they both were. Even though they were like significantly older than I was, they see this poor girl, she's hurt on the floor.
yeah.
She was bleeding. But they were just so like over their heads about like what happened to the door, you know? And I realized in that moment, um, sometimes age is not a factor in intelligence. Like you could be older, but you could still be like super unsmart. Emotional, like your emotional intelligence could be like really bad. And
I
that
mean,
experience showed me that. Like, wow, this guy
yeah.
who's so much older than me, the way he's reacting is like a 5-year old. It's insane.
First of all, yes, I do agree that people take those much. That's kind of like people that value too much of the material part, and they're so worried or so angry about the disaster that happened to their business or to the door, and they forget the human part that is like there's somebody hurt. The rest can be fixed, right? Right, like the door can be fixed. Maybe you can pay, or your sister can pay for it, or these can be figured out.
And it was figured out. And that's the craziest
Yeah,
thing. Because,
yeah,
I mean, you've seen how I am, but like, I'm very professional. I'm like calm. I'm smooth talking to people. But
yes,
this guy, insane, insane.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like people take it, and of course, like what you're seeing from your side, we can see it from their side. You know, I don't know if that happens often to them, or maybe they just had to deal with something bad. That's why they got so upset about this. You never know, right? I always give the benefit of the doubt, but yes, it's sad
In that
when you see.
situation, I wouldn't give it.
Yeah, of course, it's your family member, and she's hurt, and it's not easy, you know.
I like this perspective you're bringing up, but it's interesting because it's like, I mean, those lived in experiences. Sometimes it's like, damn, that situation, yeah, that person just the way they reacted was kind of insane.
Yeah, and I mean, you're young, so you sometimes when you see somebody older making a bad decision like that, it's very disappointing. I honestly relate to that, you know, when I'm like, man, like you're old and you're still like caring about things that you should not be caring.
You've
Or
seen it
you
as well
or
next
you've
to me.
seen and or you been or you can be a smarter, you know, like and make a better judgment of things or like but also at the same time I go back and it's just like I cannot know it all. Maybe there's a reason why they are the way they are. And hey, it's not my business. The best I can do is just separate myself from that, and that's it. Like if it's not a good
Yeah,
guidance, and if it's not
yeah,
a good guidance in your life, you have the choice to say, "Hey, you know, this is not my type of people. Let's just quit it and not see these people again." And see, like
yeah.
you fix it.
Well, it's a good point you're bringing up, but I think it only adds to my point that it doesn't necessarily mean you're emotionally intelligent just because you're older. You know, even like
No,
when you were a kid, for example, maybe you got in trouble at school. You're like, oh, maybe I was wrong, and then you grow up and you realize, you know, some of like the things I got in trouble for, it wasn't that bad. That teacher was actually just a jerk. And you
Yeah.
realize that more as an adult, you know?
Yes, yes, and I think you are an older soul like me. I think we that's why we related well. It was because you have that older soul vibe. So I'm pretty sure you never had a. I mean, I'm not saying when you're young you don't make mistakes, right? But I don't see you like doing like something what a normal boy of 16, 15 years old would do. I think you are also aware of your actions in some way, and uh like that happens sometimes. You said teachers, right? So that happened to me too, the same experience, like you can see that there was a teacher that was an asshole or was taking advantage of being older and kind of wanting saying rude things to students and no adult was around, or they didn't get to defend themselves, or they didn't have even the security or the personality yet to really step up and say something. And I've lived those moments too in school before, and to me it's just like now that I'm adult, I'm not holding off on those anymore. So um it's weird.
What do you mean by that? Now that I'm an adult, I'm not holding off on those anymore.
Because I think you have more wisdom about it. Like you already shut up instead of saying something, and that didn't take you to a better place or took the situation to a better place. Or I think when you become an adult, you should have the nerves or los huevos, right, to step up and say what it needs to be said. Um, I feel that not a lot of people do that. Sometimes they stay in that, like they don't want confrontation, but assholes need to be told that they're assholes. And it's the best of the world because we can disagree or we can become a unity. I feel like when you have those confrontations with people, you become closer with them because you kind of like put the mask to the side, and this is like this is you and me buddy, or like whoever. This is who we are, and it can go best way. Some people appreciate that. I appreciate when people call my shit, like to go when people call like when I'm BSing something or I'm trying to act too smart, and when people call me out on something, I actually appreciate that. I'm like, okay, I'll give you that, like
Yeah,
you
shipment.
yeah. So but I'm like, okay, okay, cool. Like I think it's funny, and I think um it's nice when like I like to sometimes not test people, but sometimes I'll say something just to test
Dude, you were
their
wild. You took the tablet and you're like, "Hey, look at this." And you threw it in the trash and you're like, "This is
no,
trash."
no, it's not. I'm not. It was just a funny joke. That trash was empty and probably was just with paper, and it was just like
You wild, Ivan. You
it's just a funny
I
moment, man.
remember you got so chill. That was so funny. That was so funny.
No, it's not. It's not that it was chill or not chill. I like to have fun when I'm doing something, of course. It's not that I'm hurting somebody, or it's not that I'm doing that in front of a customer, or it's just like between coworkers, we have jokes, right? And I think that's healthy environment. And of course, it was an iPad that wanted to be used for a particular thing, and I was just like, that that's not working, and
See
why.
this is trash.
you know.
That
But it
was
was just a
funny.
funny joke. It was just a
That was
funny joke.
funny.
But in seriousness, it's just I think it's okay to be funny and make jokes like that sometimes.